Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the fascinating tales of our collective past. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the captivating legend of the Krampus, a creature shrouded in mystery and intrigue. As we venture into the snow-covered Alps, the rustic villages, and the ancient traditions that gave birth to this enigmatic figure, you'll discover a world where myth and reality blend like the whispers of the wind through the trees. In the early days of European folklore, when the Roman Empire's influence began to wane, the Alps stood as a formidable barrier separating the Mediterranean world from the vast expanse of northern Europe. It was amidst this dramatic landscape, where the air is crisp and the nights are long, that the seeds of the Krampus legend were sown. The region, inhabited by various tribes and later influenced by Christianity, became a melting pot of beliefs, customs, and tales. As we wander through the quaint villages nestled in the Alpine valleys, we find ourselves surrounded by a rich tapestry of stories, each thread carefully woven by generations of storytellers. The pre-Christian traditions of these communities, with their deep connection to nature and the cycles of life, would eventually give rise to the half-goat, half-demon creature known as the Krampus. But before this fearsome being took center stage, the stage itself had to be set. In the 12th century, the Catholic Church, in its efforts to spread Christianity throughout Europe, encountered a plethora of pagan rituals and beliefs. The winter solstice, with its promise of renewal and the return of the sun, was a time of great significance for these ancient cultures. The Church, seeking to supplant these traditions with Christian holidays, introduced Christmas, celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. However, the old customs and tales, deeply ingrained in the psyche of the people, did not disappear. Instead, they evolved, merging with the new beliefs. It was during this period of religious and cultural transformation that the figure of Saint Nicholas, a 4th-century bishop known for his generosity and kindness, especially towards children, began to take on a significant role. His feast day, December 6th or 5th in some countries, became a time for gift-giving and celebration. But, as with all stories that endure, the narrative of Saint Nicholas was not without its counterpart, a shadowy figure that would embody the opposite qualities. In the Alpine regions, where the nights are dark and the forests are deep, the legend of a creature, one that would punish the naughty children while Saint Nicholas rewarded the good, started to take form. This was not merely a product of religious influence, but also a reflection of the harsh realities of life in these rugged landscapes, where survival depended on community, discipline, and respect for nature's power. As the centuries passed, the tales of this creature grew more vivid, more menacing. It was said to roam the forests and villages during the winter months, particularly around the time of the solstice, in search of misbehaving children. The descriptions of its appearance varied, but the essence remained: a terrifying being, with horns, fur, and a switch or chains, come to mete out punishment. As the centuries passed, the legend of the Krampus continued to evolve, with its significance and influence spreading throughout the Alpine regions. One of the most notable events associated with the Krampus is the annual festival of Krampusnacht, which takes place on the evening of December 5th. On this night, young men dressed in elaborate costumes and masks representing the Krampus would roam the streets, frightening children and adults alike with their intimidating appearance and loud bells. In the town of Hallstatt, Austria, for example, the tradition of Krampusnacht is still alive and well, with hundreds of participants gathering to reenact the ancient rituals. The sound of clanging bells and the sight of fiery torches illuminating the dark winter sky create an unforgettable experience, transporting onlookers back in time to an era when the boundaries between myth and reality were blurred. As one observer noted, the Krampus is not just a creature, but a symbol of the wild and untamed forces that lie at the heart of human nature. Another significant event in the history of the Krampus is its association with the Perchten, a group of masked figures who would accompany Saint Nicholas on his rounds, punishing naughty children while the saint rewarded the good. This tradition, which dates back to the 17th century, is still practiced in some parts of Austria and Germany, where the Perchten are seen as a necessary counterpart to the benevolent Saint Nicholas. As the German folklore scholar Josef Kerberl once wrote, "The Krampus and the Perchten represent the two sides of human nature, the light and the dark, the good and the evil, which must be balanced in order for society to function. In addition to these events, the Krampus has also been associated with various rituals and customs, such as the practice of Krampusing, where young men would dress up as the Krampus and visit homes, singing and dancing in exchange for food and drink. This tradition, which was popular in the 19th century, is still practiced in some parts of the Alps, where it is seen as a way of maintaining social bonds and strengthening community ties. The influence of the Krampus can also be seen in the art and literature of the region, with numerous depictions of the creature appearing in folk tales, poems, and paintings. One notable example is the work of the Austrian artist Alfred Hrdlicka, who created a series of sculptures and drawings featuring the Krampus as a symbol of resistance against oppressive authority. As Hrdlicka once said, "The Krampus represents the power of the people, the untamed energy that lies at the heart of human creativity and rebellion." As the years went by, the Krampus continued to evolve, incorporating new elements and influences into its mythology. In the 20th century, for example, the creature became associated with the concept of wildness, representing a desire to break free from the constraints of modern society and reconnect with nature. This idea is reflected in the work of the American writer Robert Bly, who saw the Krampus as a symbol of the wild man archetype, a figure who embodies the primal energies of the human psyche. The significance of the Krampus can also be seen in its impact on popular culture, with numerous references to the creature appearing in film, literature, and music. In the 2015 horror movie Krampus, for example, the creature is depicted as a malevolent being who punishes those who have been naughty, while in the novel, The Krampus by Bram, the creature is portrayed as a complex figure, embodying both good and evil qualities. As the 20th century drew to a close, the Krampus continued to captivate audiences around the world with its unique blend of folklore and horror elements. In the 1990s and 2000s, the creature experienced a resurgence in popularity, thanks in part to the rise of the internet and social media, which allowed fans to share and discover new information about the Krampus. This renewed interest led to a proliferation of Krampus-themed events, parades, and festivals, with many cities and towns hosting their own versions of Krampusnacht. One notable example of this modern-day celebration is the Krampuslauf, or Krampus Run, which takes place annually in the town of Graz, Austria. On this night, hundreds of participants dress up in elaborate costumes and masks, reenacting the ancient rituals and traditions associated with the Krampus. As one participant noted, the Krampus represents a connection to our past, a way of honoring the traditions and folklore that have been passed down through generations. This sentiment is echoed by the Austrian anthropologist Christian Feast, who has written extensively on the cultural significance of the Krampus. The Krampus is more than just a creature or a myth. It's a symbol of our collective unconscious, a representation of the fears and desires that lie at the heart of human nature. In recent years, the Krampus has also become a staple of popular culture, with appearances in films, television shows, and literature. The 2015 horror movie, Krampus, brought the creature to a wider audience, while authors like Bram have explored the complexities and nuances of the Krampus mythology in their work. As Bram has said, the Krampus is a fascinating figure, full of contradictions and paradoxes. It's both terrifying and mesmerizing, a true embodiment of the human psyche. Despite its enduring popularity, the Krampus remains a complex and multifaceted figure, open to interpretation and reinterpretation. Some see it as a symbol of rebellion against authority, while others view it as a representation of the darker aspects of human nature. Today, the Krampus is remembered as an integral part of European folklore and cultural heritage, a testament to the power and enduring appeal of myth and legend. Its influence can be seen in art, literature, and popular culture, from the works of Alfred Hrdlicka to the modern-day celebrations of Krampusnacht. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.